Love and Watches is a podcast for male and female watch lovers alike. Perpetual Girl and Ranch Racer are a watch-crazy wife and husband team bringing you the latest in news, gossip, controversy, and anything else that matters in the world of watches. We hope you enjoy the show.
Merry Christmas, watch fam. This is Ranch Racer.
And Perpetual Girl.
And welcome to the Christmas 2018 rendition of the Love and Watches podcast. This is going to be a very random topics podcast. We are recording it on Christmas morning. And
Well, it's actually afternoon.
Gosh, it is. And I have to hustle to get the post-processing done and get it up, posted, because I want to post it today because we're heading out for some Christmas dinner with some close friends. So, pretty quiet Christmas this year.
Very.
Haven't done too much.
Well, I had my little hip repair surgery done, so that was minor. And
you had your normal treatment that week before too, so
I kind of got hammered. It
was a tough couple weeks, but feeling good today. And we don't do a ton. Usually we don't do a ton for Christmas.
No.
You know?
We've got a lot going on with the ranch. And
yeah. Well, and my family lives for holidays. Lives for, and especially Christmas.
They do fill every minute with joy.
We called it the Christmas marathon, right? We had people at our house Christmas Eve, like one side of the family. We opened presents. As kids, it was great, right? Because you had presents Christmas Eve, wake up Christmas morning, go into the living room. Santa's, paid his visit to you. And so we get more presents, and then we get dressed. We would head to my other grandma from the other side of the family, my dad's mother's house, and hang out with that side of the family Christmas morning, and then leave and stop at a friend's house and spend a couple hours, and then go to my uncle's house from the other side of the family. We'd get home at like midnight Christmas night, and the kids, we never made it. We were always asleep at my uncle's place for Christmas dinner.
When did you play with your toys?
The week after. I'd usually grab one that I got on Christmas Eve or from Santa and like stuff it in a bag, and we'd head out Christmas morning. But it was crazy. Totally opposite from your family.
We celebrated Christmas, but it was a more mellow, Christmas Eve. My mom is Swedish, so she was Swedish. So she'd bring out her beautiful red Swedish tablecloth, and as a treat, we'd get to eat in the living room, and not at the kitchen table. So we'd do that, maybe open one present, go to church, come back, eat dinner. And then in the morning, we'd stay in our pajamas all day and open presents and watch TV. And it was a very mellow Christmas day.
Well, and you guys had some, sickness and stuff in your family to deal with. So it was never, there wasn't a lot of planning involved. It's like if everyone's feeling good, then you did your
it was tradition,
Christmas.
And we still had, it didn't stop us. We had fun.
Right.
And now you and I are just very mellow.
I like the mellow. I can't, and my family, my mom is like over 80 and she's still like Energizer Bunny. She gets in the car and drives down to the Bay Area and does all the party. I don't know how she does it. I still don't know how she does it. It's crazy. Totally crazy. But
like I said, it makes me tired thinking about it.
We've been sitting around watching James Bond. We do our...
Yep.
So if you guys have been following us on Instagram, we do our James Bond marathon. So we've been...
Yeah, big holiday weekends, we do that.
Yeah, and we've been posting, watch photos. Because obviously there's so many great watch shots and wrist shots in James Bond movies. So we've been posting all those from Rolex Submariner to now we're in Roger Moore era. So we're getting all the Seikos,
Seiko quartzes.
The digital Seikos from the 70s and 80s.
Oh, how about the one that spits out the Dymo?
Oh, that was so cool. What movie? That was last night.
Mm-hmm.
What movie
we watched
watching?
That, at 3 o'clock this morning? Or?
Was that The Spy Who Loved Me?
Yes.
Probably. But that was super cool.
Dymo. It's like, how did they get the sticky stuff off the back to put it through that watch?
I know. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So yeah, Christmas is here, Christmas Day, and then New Year's is coming, and your birthday on New Year's Eve, so we'll probably do something mellow.
Oh, God, that's right. My birthday. I don't even think about that anymore. On New Year's Eve. I was born at 10-something at night on New Year's Eve. My dad went to a party. But he was pulling for me because I ended up being a tax deduction for 72. So he's happy.
Did he win the pool?
I have no idea.
The betting pool.
But yeah, he went and partied, so it was pretty funny. But yeah, so we've got my birthday coming up. I got all this week off, which is really cool.
Which has been fantastic since I'm kind of hobbling around here a bit. I can't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, well,
as
and
far
actually,
as my normal chores.
I mean, the way the holidays fell this year,
bird visiting.
I end up getting like 10 days off, which is really cool.
It's great.
So
some people don't like being around their spouses that long, but I've been enjoying it.
You do pretty good putting up with me when I'm around. So
well, we've been looking at Instagram a lot, and there's a lot of fun Christmas and holiday posting, and people getting watches for Christmas, which is really fun.
It's always a fun time of year on Instagram, and if you guys have been following us, there was drum roll. We actually released pictures of ourselves, so you guys know what we look like now. We've been kind of anonymous since we started the podcast, and still haven't mentioned our names, but you guys at least can now put some faces to the voices. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go check out the Instagram feed. We posted some pictures on the feed, and then I've been doing just some fun photos on the storyline. So definitely go check that out. Is that it? Are we ready to?
Yeah.
We don't really even have. We have some kind of loose topics,
but it's just been fun looking at Instagram, seeing the gifts that people are getting. We had one person today who just got. Is that his first automatic? Is it Faruda?
Brett Faruda.
So shout out.
I don't know.
Faruda.
But he tagged us in. His wife gave him an Invicta. What is it? The Pro Diver, I think.
Grand Diver.
They're cool. I mean, come on.
I have one of those Grand Divers.
It's so hard to beat. It's a 200 meter or 300 meter, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a 300 meter mechanical diver. Good looking watch. It
probably the Seiko NH35 movement.
Yep. Whatever you think about Invicta, you can't beat it for the price. I mean, they're really, really cool watches.
I have no hesitation swimming in mine. None.
Not at all.
They're fantastic, and there's so many different colors and styles to choose from that there's something for everybody. There really is, and it's such a great start for a collector.
Totally, yeah. If you want to get into mechanical watches, it's Seiko 5 and Invicta to me are the two. We're going to talk about another somewhat affordable mechanical today, but before we get to that, we should probably do wrist checks.
Sure.
So you want to save yours for a second? Yours is a little bit more.
Yeah, we could.
Okay, so I am wearing an early birthday gift from Perpetual Girl. Mm-hmm. Picked up from our local Seiko dealer is now selling Citizen. I
did this before I had surgery.
Yeah, because you weren't sure how you'd be feeling and if you'd be able to get out and get me a Christmas present. So this is the Citizen EcoDrive Nighthawk, and it's reference CA0295-58E. Don't worry, I'll put that on the show notes. But it is like the full-on, all blacked-out chronograph Nighthawk.
Black band. Is that ceramic?
42 millimeters steel. Super cool. I don't have, kind of like the all black is a trend these days. Omega's got, one of the Speedmasters. It's like the full blacked out version. So I didn't have anything like this in the collection. So it was a fun one to add. Not real easy to see in low light, but if you're in full light, it's easy to see and got some nice highlights. The layout is Valjoux 7750 basically, even though it's not a mechanical movement. You have I think the running seconds are at 6, and then you have a 60-minute counter at 12. You got a 1/5 main chronograph seconds hand, and then you have a 24-hour indicator over at 9. So really cool watch. I love EcoDrive. You don't have to mess with it. Give it a little sun or some light in the house every once in a while, and I keep it in a glass top watch box and keeps it topped up enough. That I don't ever have to worry about it. It just runs and runs, and Seiko's got their own solar.
That's
Seiko
Citizen.
Solar. This is a Citizen EcoDrive, and there's Seiko Solar.
Yeah, I saw that, and I thought that's something really unique. Like, you don't have a lot of that in your collection. And I think sometimes we get caught up and we buy kind of the same things over and over, whether it's clothes or shoes or pants or whatever. So I thought something totally different. It looks really sporty, and it's actually a little more formal as a more dressy watch. I mean, it's sporty, but you could totally wear that to work with a nice, nice plaid shirt. And
it's all black. The bracelet, steel bracelet is black PVD. The whole thing is black. The dial, everything full on black.
I mean, I love my all white ceramic band watches. So when I saw that, I thought that's kind of a neat idea.
Well, and
the price was right.
As we collect more, you get into this hobby, and you really, something that drew us into it was the mechanics of a mechanical movement, right? And you tend to stop looking at quartz and thinking about quartz, but you never should stop. I mean, this is a perfect example of such a cool watch that I could wear anytime.
Mm-hmm. It's a quartz, but it's got that long, what is it, like a 10-year life on that battery?
Yeah, there's no battery. It's water resistant to 200 meters, so you can do anything in it. Just a cool watch. And it's, MSRP, I think MSRP is $495, but
yeah, I did not pay that.
If you look at their website, it's $396.
That's maybe a little more than what I pay, but that's my local jeweler, and they like us there. So
they take good care of us there. So, yeah, I mean,
it's really cool.
It's super cool. I love it. I'm really happy with it.
It's very manly.
It was a great birthday gift. So, all right, should we move on to what you are wearing?
What I'm wearing is it's basically our gift for ourselves, for the both of us.
Yep.
And I was recovering from surgery. I think it might have been the day after.
There's a story behind this. I can't remember. That we'll tell.
Yeah. Well, there's not too much to the story, but so I was recovering from my surgery and took a nap, and you had to go out and do some errands, and you came home and put something on my lap and opened the box, and it was a Rolex Submariner, black with the black bezel. So you managed to find a Submariner for us for Christmas, which was, I didn't know you were doing it. It just showed up here. So I was at first I was like, what happened to our rule where if you spend over $100, you're supposed to tell me first or discuss it, and you didn't, but here it is. And it's actually, we've both been wearing it because you can adjust the buckle on the fly.
It's got the glide lock.
It's got the glide lock in the clasp. So
tons of adjustment.
So we adjusted it such that the largest setting fits you, and then for me, almost the smallest. Mm-hmm. It actually gets a little tight for me. So, but this loom lasts all night. So I've been using it. I've been wearing it at night and taking my meds after my surgery, and it's been the ultimate tool watch. So it's actually helping me. Well, I know that's no excuse, but.
And do you remember the reference number?
Is it 11? I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're better.
114060. So this is the no date Submariner, which I preferred anyway. And I was not shopping for Submariner. I went to go pick up my Bulova Oceanographer, the 2018 reissue that I had ordered from our local jeweler, Devon's in Roseville. Awesome guys. And they're, the guys that we work with, the manager and the assistant manager, Matt and Randy, are they're watch people. They love watches. They follow us on Instagram. Just really good guys. And we got to know Randy because he's really into Disney, and we were really into Disney.
We end up talking so much. It's like, gosh, we got to not keep you from your customers.
Yeah, exactly. We end up just coming in there, and we just drop by and we spend like an hour just
chit-chatting,
shooting the breeze.
Nice guy.
A lot of fun. Yeah. And so I went in to pick up my Bulova, and just through a set of circumstances, they had a Submariner no date. And these days, when you go into an authorized dealer and they have any stainless steel sport models, if you can swing it, you say, yes, I'll take it. So that's what I did. But love those guys. Thank you to Devon's Jewelers. They're just amazing. So they have a lot of stores in the Sacramento area. And down Central Valley, like Stockton and Clovis.
Yeah, not too far from here. And they have inventory in their cases.
They do from time to time. It just depends. It's as a Rolex AD, you never know what you're going to get. Stuff just shows up.
And that's the truth. They don't know.
They don't know. A
lot of people are kind of really attacking the ADs right now. They're angry at them, and it's like
it's not their fault.
They're basically getting what Rolex gives them. So you can't really fault you can't take it out on your local AD.
No, they're doing the best they can to satisfy as many of their customers as they can with the paltry inventory that they're receiving from Rolex. So, as we like to say, Rolex, it's the brand we love to hate or hate to love, because we love the watches, but it drives us crazy how hard they are.
And they don't work for Rolex, so that's, people forget that. It's like they're an independent, they're a business.
Yeah, they have to buy the watches.
Rolex. Yeah, they buy all kinds of things.
Yeah, so anyway, we've got this. So I came home with 2 watches that day, which was, it was.
So this Christmas we're eating ramen.
Yeah, this was, we spent a lot more this Christmas than we'd originally intended, but, and no, we haven't sold the two-tone yet. Go ahead.
I'm so in love with it, and we'll pack it all up and put it away, and then I'm like, can you take it out and size it for me again? And then I'll wear it, and it's tough because it's the old style. It's got the narrower lugs.
Yeah, it's the non-maxi case, and there's a big difference.
It fits really well.
It wears quite a bit smaller than that same 40 millimeter Submariner that you have on.
Totally different.
Yeah,
I like both, but the other one's just so blingy that I'm a little uncomfortable in some situations wearing it.
I'm nervous when you go out by yourself.
I'm worried about someone trying to mug me, or
yeah. So,
and I don't want to give off the wrong impression because I'm a down-to-earth person. I don't want someone to think I'm a jerk.
No one thinks you're a jerk.
I know. But I care about that.
So anyway, we still have the two-tone, the 16613, and now we've added the 114060 to the collection. We are going to be selling some watches, though. I know Mike and Kaz have talked a lot about this. They talked about it on their last couple shows, and I think Kaz actually finally posted some that he was going to sell, and man, a couple of them bum me out, but I get why he's doing it. He's just trying to...
If you don't wear them...
If you don't wear them...
And I go through phases.
I know he totally wants that, the first Pierce Brosnan Bond, the Quartz Seamaster.
Oh.
He really wants one of those. So I think part of his plan is to, reduce the current inventory and save up and look for one. I'd love to see him get one. That'd be so cool. And speaking of Mike and Kaz, I guess our sister podcast. That's what
I love that
Kaz calls us. But just great guys, and we're super appreciative of their help, and they're always giving us call outs on their podcast, and we want to do the same. So definitely go and listen to their podcast if you haven't yet. FYI, it is not a PG.
It's a grown-up
show.
Language
it's more
show,
of a it's a grown-up language show.
Although didn't you say that it's not as...
Kaz he's cleaned it up. I got to give him that. He is definitely... There's not as much. I mean, there's still adult language, but it's not like it was in like the first, their first year.
Some people really have trouble with that.
Yeah, some people do, and so he's cleaned up. And they actually did an episode where the whole point behind the episode was they weren't going to swear, and I think they made it. They might have said one like kind of halfway swear word the whole time, but it was pretty impressive. So, yeah. So anyway, maybe look forward to some fun stuff with the two podcasts in the future here. So
yeah,
but we're always talking to those
guys.
Stuff, yeah. And yeah. So anyway,
and they're just so funny.
They're funny, and they're just great guys. Yeah. Just really good guys, and they're doing it because they love watches. I mean, and they're younger than us. They want to make a career out of it. Definitely go and help them out. They have a Patreon page. Go check out their Patreon page. Even if you can just help out a little bit a month, they're all of it goes towards producing the show, and so really good guys. So do you want to kind of dive into a couple of these topics? These are yours. So
no, it's just something I was just been thinking the last week or so that a couple topics I want to talk about, and one is sustainability. And I'm not a tree hugging. I might be kind of an old hippie, but I'm not a tree hugger, so to speak. I mean,
no,
but I am, a big animal advocate, and I love the environment. So sustainability is something, recycling and all these things that we can do that are easy, like low hanging fruit. And over the last year, like few months, I'm just noticing that things like, so is it bad if I actually say a watch brand name and criticize?
Not at all.
Are you sure? Okay. Well,
we're not here to make friends with the manufacturers.
Okay. Well, this brand I do love, and they make great watches.
I don't love them. But hey,
Well,
you
I
love
do,
them.
and I wore them when I was in college and younger, and it's our very well loved Swatch brand, iconic, wonderful.
You do have to give it. They kind of helped resurrect the watch industry.
Yeah,
to an
well,
extent,
and
right?
they have their parent company over so many wonderful brands, and
Yep.
and I love that. There's one little eensy thing that I'm been thinking about lately, though, is this System 51 mechanical they're making.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first found out about it, I was like, oh, I have to have this. It's different. It's mechanical.
Inexpensive.
And it's inexpensive, and it's got 51 moving parts, and there's a whole diagram, and you can look at it. And
Held together by one screw, everything.
I'm like, sweet. And then I found out that when you said, well, it can't be maintained, right? I'm like, what do you mean? You can't there's no
you
maintenance.
don't service it.
So what is the lifetime on a watch like that then?
I don't know,
Since
but
it's so new, what are the trials?
I can say some of my watch buddies have bought them, and within a year, they've pooped out. They're not working anymore.
And then some have not.
And some are
I
still
get
going,
that.
right? But the thing is, at least for us, a mechanical watch, part of a mechanical watch, as you say, is the sustainability, right?
It's the legacy of it.
Yeah, and that device, that mechanical movement is going to continue to tick away for, it could be hundreds of years. And it's,
right.
It might get little parts replaced here and there, but it's serviced. As long as you take care of it, it'll last and last and last.
They're time capsules, no matter when it's made, the 70s, the 80s, now. An Invicta diver, an NH35 movement. It's a time capsule.
Yep.
And if you take care of it, it's not going to go anywhere. You can give it to people, and it'll be there a long time after we're gone, pretty much. So when this breaks, does it go in the landfill, the System 51?
Well,
or do you put a new movement in it?
I'm not going to say it goes right in the landfill, but it goes in the garbage. And it's probably got plastic.
Or is it
because a lot of it's plastic.
or?
So there's might be some recyclable parts, but I mean, the bottom line is it's not.
We should probably
what you think of as your traditional mechanical. It's when it breaks, it's kind of like a cheap quartz movement. If you go to get a quartz watch fixed that you really like, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to drop a new movement in it. It's not worth the time and effort.
So maybe that's an option, and we should probably do a little digging behind the scenes and find out what happens to them, because I know it's a brand new watch. So that might be for our next episode. We'll go in and do. Because I just brought this up for fun today. I haven't really done a lot of research.
Well, it's come up in conversation a couple times with our friends in the last few weeks.
So part of what kind of I think is funny is the millennials love these System 51s. And I thought the millennials were a generation interested in lowering greenhouse emissions and landfills and
I don't think we
keeping
know what
things sustainable, because now if you've got these disposable watches that are getting here every day with all your Amazon orders that people are doing daily, and there's your carbon footprint of your cars going every single day instead of going shopping once a month.
Yeah, I mean,
so is that kind of a dichotomy in interests where it's okay to be green, but then you just go ahead and buy disposable stuff? I mean,
everything's disposable. I mean, we all shop on Amazon. A lot of it comes from the Far East. It's not very well made anymore. Not to say that there aren't good things that come out of the Far East, because we know there are, but there's also a lot of garbage.
Plastic. Well,
let's face it, junk. That's stuff that's not designed to last. It's cheap, and you buy it over and over again when it breaks.
Well, and I drink out of mason jars still, so those could be. You can buy mason jars that are 100 years old.
If you're one of our millennial listeners, let us know.
You're like, what's
what
a mason
you
jar?
In. Let us know what you believe in. Do you believe in sustainability? Are you okay with the massive carbon footprint that Amazon's creating?
And do you
all
know
the
what a
cheap
mason jar
products?
is?
And do you know what a mason jar is? If you know what a mason jar is,
you're on the way to
one step
greatness.
ahead. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, my feeling is if you want to get an affordable mechanical, you look at Seiko 5.
Well, the System 51 is like $250, and the Seiko 5 is not.
And you can get a Seiko 5 for under 100. You can get an Invicta with a Seiko movement for under 100. Why would you go and buy a disposable mechanical watch? It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. Just doesn't register in my brain. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
It's interesting innovation, though. And maybe someday they'll do one that's all metal parts and it can be maintained. But
Well, and that was the whole thing behind it, right? It's super cheap to produce. It's 100% machine produced. There's not a human hand that touches this thing when it gets built. I mean, the entire watch, it's, the movement gets built by machines. It gets dropped into the case by machines. Whatever the testing they do is by machines. It's 100% machine-made watch. So
robots.
Yeah, I mean, from that perspective, the technical innovation is amazing. I'll give them. I mean, it is pretty incredible, right? And we all know Rolex watches aren't 100% handmade. There are stages that require human hands, but they've incorporated a lot of innovation into their production line, right? And there is some mechanical innovation in there, but 100% machine made, that's pretty amazing. Right. So from an achievement perspective, I think it's cool, but I don't like it from a sustainability perspective. And it doesn't represent what I think of as a mechanical watch.
Right. The spirit of
the watch. It's not an heirloom. You're not going to pass a System 51 down to generations of family members. It's just not going to happen. I don't know. It's an interesting topic. Would love to hear what you guys think about it. We don't own one. I know Mike Penitante owns one from Two Broke Watch Snobs. So he's talked a little bit about it. I don't really know what his thoughts are. It'd be interesting to hear. But
and I'm assuming it's got a rotor.
Yeah, they're automatics. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'd be interested to hear what you all think. If you own one, I know a couple of our local Red Bar members own them, and it's interesting to hear their thoughts. But would love to hear what you guys think, especially you guys that own them. Why did you buy it? How do you feel about it? You care? You may not care, and that's fine too. We're all different, right? You may just not care. But yeah, it's an interesting topic.
Especially since a recent gift you gave me was a small pocket watch from an estate sale. So it was really affordable. And it's actually a 1906 Longines field, like a World War II trench watch. It's like a trench watch. And it's tiny. I mean, I think it's not even 30 millimeters case. It's a really small thing, but it's a beautiful, beautiful, and it's gold. It's 18 karat gold, and it was totally affordable.
Double hunter case.
Double hunter, just a little bit more than a System 51. And it was made in 1906.
And it's still cranking on the original
movement. It's over 100
movement.
years old, 112 years old, 113 years old. So I guess I just sort of see watches that way. And everyone has their own view. It means everything to, different things to everybody. I get it.
My gut just tells me that most people that are so into watches that they're listening to a couple dorks talk about it on a podcast, that they care about mechanical watches and the story and the longevity. And I bet you most of our listeners care about that. I could be wrong, but my guess is they do. Because that's what a mechanical watch is all about. Why do we wear them otherwise? You don't have to wear a watch anymore. Why are we wearing these things? Because we love them, right? And we're enamored by how they work and how long they last. And
we don't always want to have a phone right in our face.
Right. And we've talked about that a lot, but yeah. So anyway, let us know what you think. It is an interesting topic, and I'd love to hear from you guys. So let us know on the website, in the comments, or on Instagram. Totally be interested to hear.
And on that note, more about sustainability.
Yeah.
Loom. This loom thing is just a side note. Well, just when a watch has great loom, I can wear a watch all night. I can look over without my glasses, and I don't have great vision. I can see what time it is. And before I had watches with decent loom, I had this crazy little alarm clock that we bought when we were newlyweds. I think it was from Rite Aid or something.
And it projected on the ceiling.
It projected the time on the ceiling. And it would, I got it pre the adjustment to daylight savings when the government changed our daylight savings date. So then every time it changed, I had to go in and really fuss with the time zones to make it. It would literally take me 20 minutes.
It was atomic, but it didn't work. We don't get an atomic signal.
So it'd take me 20 minutes, like twice a year, to adjust this thing so I could know the time in the middle of the night. And since I've gotten these, great watches like Seiko's with loom,
and Rolexes too.
And I don't have to, we ditched that when it finally broke. I didn't replace it. So I'm not using electric,
no
alarm
electricity.
Clocks. Yeah. So
we're saving the planet.
Yeah. Our carbon footprint is smaller.
Totally.
So, and then my one other thing, moving on off of that topic.
We're done with loom. Okay.
Yeah, we're done with loom. We said it was random.
Yeah. Hey, it's all you.
So, on a note with vintage watches, and I know I see a lot of vintage watches on Instagram and fantastic, collections. And one thing that, and I know people have mentioned it on other podcasts, is your maintenance cost. So you go on eBay and you find a watch and it's like, wow, this watch is $150. That's a great deal. And it's like, has it been serviced first? Yeah. If it hasn't, if it's a basic 3-hand watch, it's probably going to be affordable to service. But, most of ours are, about $100 at our local.
You add anywhere from $150 to $300 for a full service, depending on the watch, the movement, how bad it is.
My Bellmatic went in. I got a fantastic deal on it because those things are going for. When I got the blue one, now. I think I paid $125. I won the bid at $125.
And
that was like a year ago.
Hundred.
Now they're several hundred, but I just took it in to get serviced because it wasn't broken, but I didn't want to use it until I knew it was tip top. And I think it was it $275?
Your notes say $225, but call it $250. It was up there because it's not a typical Seiko NH35 movement, right? It's an older alarm movement, so it's got more moving parts, takes longer. The parts might be hard to find. So
it's got day date.
Yeah, it's got a day date. We haven't really focused too much on vintage. I know Mike and Kaz have talked a lot about it. It's just one thing to keep in mind, and it can be a good way to get into the hobby if you have someone that knows about watches and can help you look for something and pick something out, right? Mm-hmm. You really got to understand what you're looking at. Not just for the fact that it could be faked or it could be a Franken watch or whatever, but you could be in store for some hefty service fees that you're not budgeting for. So the point is, at least I think your point was, make sure you budget for that. You add that, to be safe, add a couple $100 or $250 to whatever you pay for that watch, because it may need servicing now or in a year, but that's what it's going to cost you. So I think that's a great point to bring up.
We've had that watch a long time, and we just have been dragging our feet bringing it in because I was a little nervous about it.
Well, and the other one that we brought in at the same time was the 1971 Bulova Oceanographer.
Well, that was cheaper.
That was a little less expensive because it didn't have the extra mechanical parts for
it didn't have the alarm.
But, it's still a couple $100. And that one was broken. That had some issues with the movement. And it was still less expensive. So it totally depends on the watch and how easy parts are to come by. Especially if you get into something where the watchmaker actually has to manufacture parts, like machine parts. Wow, that's going to get really pricey. So, just a word of caution. We're not saying don't buy vintage watches, but make sure you're budgeting for that, because it can bite you if you're not prepared to. And then the watch just sits in a drawer and all that excitement
it doesn't get
love is gone.
Love.
So yeah, good point. I like that one.
Mm-hmm. But I cannot wait to get it back because it's such a unique watch.
It's awesome. I love it. I did a video of it. On the website and then on our YouTube channel. Go check us out on YouTube. Just search Love and Watches. You'll find us. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing some fun stuff over YouTube in the next few months. 2019 is going to be a really exciting year for us in terms of growth and what we have planned. So definitely, excuse me.
Go check out the YouTube He's having channel. Trouble. All right. So I think that's pretty much what I have. I had some dorky notes here, like how to, make sure you don't forget about your watches. If you have more than several, do you wear them? Like, what do you guys do? Do you wear them all on a certain day, or do you just wear them based on an outfit? Like, I personally, back when I was working, I was considered a Microsoft Excel super user.
I still consider you a super user because I'm terrible at it.
I love Excel. So I'm thinking, like, you could even go so far as make a spreadsheet, put all your watches in it, and rotate them out with a calendar, and wear that watch that day, and make it really fun. Because some of us have
sounds like a lot of work.
No, not really. You just type it all in and then sort it, and there you go.
We have a spreadsheet of all of our watches, but I just did it to keep track of purchasing and.
Yeah, you can make it fun though, and do actually go through and. I mean, some people have a lot of watches, so rotate them and.
Some people, meaning us, we have way too many watches.
Well, we've been collecting a long time, and most of them are really, really affordable.
Yeah,
the majority are very.
We've been branching out, especially 2018 was kind of our year for some more
excitement.
expensive pieces and stuff, but yeah, for the most part, they're affordable.
Yeah, but that would be kind of funny to see. I don't know how people decide what they're going to wear.
How do you decide?
Usually what I'm wearing or what I'm doing. Like if it's summer, I wear more of the white watches. And if I'm swimming, I make sure I wear like a dive watch or something that's definitely waterproof.
Interesting to hear you say that, because I know that there's always talk around, what's a good Christmas watch or a good summer watch or a good winter watch, and bracelets in the summer versus the winter, and like all these different things. I honestly just look at the watch box every day and I'm like, it looks like a cool one to wear today. I'm gonna wear that.
And I just
don't think about it like what's a good winter watch. I just wear whatever I like, and that's in the box and that speaks to me that day.
I don't wear a lot of leather bands because I get wet, if I'm with the birds and doing farmy things.
Plus leather bands are tough because they're still not made for small wrists. There's usually not enough holes, and the tail's too long, so it hangs out.
Yeah, but I have a good hole punch. Unkept. Like I just got the Seals Model C this week. That's a notable mention.
Yes, for sure.
And it's, when you look at that Model C field watch, it's a huge watch, but it looks really good on.
It's not huge, but it's big.
It's big.
Yeah, it's big.
It's pretty big. You wouldn't think of it as a lady's watch, but with the leather band it comes with, it's a nice thick leather band. So it balances the size of the case and looks really good. But I did have to punch a hole in it with my horsey hole punch. So I might even have to punch another.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because as the leather is stretching, it's a beautiful, soft leather. So.
Yeah, and you got a few different bands with that watch. It's it's a very cool watch. You'll be doing a review on that one.
Yeah, I found myself just holding it this week, just looking at it in my hands. The case it's really thick and heavy, and it's beautiful.
Cool. So you're gonna review that one?
I should.
You should.
I know there's already reviews out there, but I will do it as a lady.
Yeah, there were some, during the pre-order phase and stuff, but you might as well, that's the whole point is let's get the female perspective. Mm-hmm. It's a larger watch, but you fell in love with it when you first saw a prototype.
I did. There's just something about the shape.
Yeah.
And I think it really could fit a lot of different wrists.
And the wire lugs make it look a little smaller. There's not a lot of bulk on the top or the bottom because they're simulated wire lugs. So I think it's a neat design. Mike does good stuff. Mm-hmm. I like his stuff.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it.
So I like this last note that you have. Do we fight over watches? That's hilarious. Is that from the sub?
Yeah. I must have written that when I was recovering from surgery.
We do have some watches that we share pretty often.
Lately we have.
Especially, this one, we've had it for a little over a week, and we do like, okay, can I wear it now?
Uh-huh.
Can I wear it? I've been pretty good. You've been pretty good.
I have too.
And the glide lock makes it harder.
Since you bought it without asking me, I've been demanding.
The glide lock, it's like, so, I don't have to go mess with links or anything. It's just like, okay, here you go. It's really easy to pass back and forth. I wouldn't say we fight over it, but we've both been, obviously it's a brand new Submariner, so we've both been jonesing over wanting to wear it. But I've also really been enjoying the new Bulova. This was a good Christmas. We kind of, and the Citizen, we've got a few new pieces. You got your Seals. So, we're spoiled for choice. It's not like we don't have a lot to wear, but when you get a new watch, you want to wear it. And that one, the funny thing is, like I said, I wasn't shopping for that thing. I wasn't shopping for a Rolex period. I was just going to pick up the Bulova. But in the last month, in the last month or so, I have been doing some online research on Submariner homages. Mm-hmm. Right? So Jeannot and
Invicta.
Steinhardt and Invicta, and there's several out
black
there
on black, you mean?
that are designed to look like a sub, either date or no date. Most of them have date. They're all a little bit bigger, usually like 42 millimeter. But I've got all my Seiko divers, but I don't really have anything that looks like the sub, and that's the classic diver look.
Well, and that was the first watches I bought were my Invicta clones.
Yeah, your homages. So
like my two-tone Donald Duck.
It's an amazing watch. You got to do the bezel.
Okay.
Hold it up to the mic. Oh. It is an amazing. I have never felt a bezel like this. And even over the two-tone. The two-tone's the older style. The bezel's okay. This is amazing. And I guess I read a little bit about it. They have 4 springs in there instead of 1, but it feels like you're just clicking over a bunch of ball bearings all lined up under there. It's
pretty special.
It's easy to turn, but it's positive clicks in each one, no back. It really is amazing. And it's just such a beautiful watch.
Well, and in the defense of my other divers, I do have one particular Invicta Grand Diver that has a bezel that's close.
See,
I mean, it's close.
God, it's
not
so
quite,
hard to
not
argue
as
against
good.
Invicta, right? I mean,
I
geez.
know. No, honestly, that it's the one that's got the abalone dial with the diamond. It was like a special edition.
Yeah.
It's an all stainless band. It's got the blue bezel, blue face.
Yep.
So I know it's a completely different world of price, but it's actually not a bad bezel.
So that just goes to show you.
Those are minor minutia things that,
watch geeks we all go crazy for it, right? I mean, I click that bezel and it's just heaven. Most people aren't going to care, but I love it. It's really cool.
Like for me, it's not really a thing.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. All right, well, so the answer to your question on our notes is I don't think we fight over watches, but we do.
Well, and watches that have bands instead of bracelets, it's easy to share.
Way easier because I'm not having to do, bracelet adjustments. And
you put that Bond NATO on the Explorer this week.
Oh, yeah.
It looks horrible on me.
But it's great on me, and I can't believe
and
that
that's
36
my little
millimeter.
36 millimeter watch.
That thing works on my 7.5 inch wrist. I was shocked.
Yeah, that was neat.
Totally shocked. So when Perpetual Girl was wearing the Submariner the first couple of days that we got it, I was looking at her Explorer 1 that we bought a few months ago. I got her a few months ago, and it's a 36 millimeter.
It's pretty old.
Yeah.
It doesn't glow in the dark anymore.
1997 tritium dial. There's no glow left, but just a neat watch, that 369 Arabic numerals, and this is a really cool, iconic Rolex. And I never even thought about trying it because
it's tiny.
I've tried on like 38 millimeter watches that just didn't look right. They just felt small. And I saw it sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pop that bracelet off, throw a Bond NATO on there and see how it looks. And it looked great.
It looks really good on you.
Cool.
Yeah.
And that actually kind of leads me into talking about
the brown leather band looks great on it with you too.
I haven't tried it yet.
Beautiful.
I should
that
try
thick Detroit watch company, like a thicker one. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. It ends up looking like that Tudor Black Bay kind of look.
But I was so excited because for me that was just your Rolex. I wasn't going to wear it, and now I'm like totally stoked to be able to wear it.
Now I'm like,
so
great. He's gonna take my watch.
Hey, if you're going to wear the Sub, I should be able to wear the Explorer, right? But it's amazing, and I'm actually going to do... All right, so some of the things we've got coming up. I wanted to talk about some upcoming things. So, PG, you're going to probably do a review on the seals. Are you going to do a written or a video?
I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking a video because I have a really tough time writing the reviews.
The video reviews are fun. I'd like to hear from you guys if you prefer to read through a, kind of a longer written review, or if you like to just pop onto YouTube, because I know that's, for a lot of people, it's quick and easy. You listen, and you're good to go. So I've been doing a lot of the video reviews. So you guys will see a review from PG, either video or written, on the Seals Model C. I am just finishing up a written review on the 2018 Bulova Oceanographer reissue that you're going to see on Wristwatch Review in the next couple weeks. I will also do a video review for Love and Watches. Oh, what else do we have? Okay, the other thing, I was talking about size of watches. I'm going to be doing a video that compares a bunch of different watches. And really the whole idea behind it is don't just buy or reject a watch based on the all-important diameter measurement, because that's usually the measurement that we all get, and we either decide in our head that's going to work on my wrist or it's too big, it won't. And unfortunately, I think a lot of us are missing out on some really cool pieces that we otherwise, if we had tried on, which in these days it's hard, especially a micro brand, you can't really try that on. But
yeah, you can't tell by a photo.
You can't tell by a photo, and you can't tell by just the diameter, and you can't even tell just by the thickness. There's so many other factors. So I've been kind of scripting this in my head, and I've got a few different watches I'm going to use for the video, but it should be really fun. And I think it's going to be kind of eye-opening for a lot of you guys, especially with my wrist being 7.5, and actually comparing a 36 millimeter Explorer to, you know, a 40 millimeter Bulova oceanographer. It was eye opening for me. So I am really excited about that video. So that's going to be happening in the next, I'll probably work on it this week. So it might even come out later this week.
Yeah, you're off for a while.
Yeah, I've got time, so I can actually get a lot done for 11 watches. So,
well, and vintage versus modern, like the 36 millimeter Explorer 1 that we have that's 22, 23 years old versus my 34 millimeter.
Yep. Oyster.
The 34 millimeter actually looks bigger.
It does.
Because it's got a thicker.
Well, it's a 34. Gosh,
it's a 34. And the actual band where it meets the lugs is thicker. It's really interesting to compare the two. The Explorer actually looks more dainty.
Well, and I mentioned it in the wrist check. That one, that newer Maxi Case Submariner, wears quite a bit bigger on your wrist than the same 40 millimeter size two-tone Submariner.
And it weighs a lot more.
It does, which is odd because the Submariner, although it's like the bracelet, those aren't solid gold links, they're gold plated on the bracelet. So that it doesn't add that much weight to the watch overall.
The sub has actually, the sub's not solid?
No.
Center links?
No, they're hollow. Those are gold plated, not solid gold.
Okay, so that's why it's lighter.
So, but it's just interesting. It's just differences in like lug width and how the lugs are shaped and thickness, and there's so many things that go into how a watch looks and feels on your wrist. And I'm hoping the video is going to help you guys think a little bit more about watches you may not otherwise buy because of a diameter.
Regardless of brand.
Yeah, regardless of brand. Doesn't matter. So anyway, that's coming out. I'm working on a written review of the Grand Seiko SBGA 3D7. That's the limited edition that I bought this year. That'll go up on a wristwatch review. Might do a video review for 11 watches. Haven't decided yet. We did do a video unboxing of that watch. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff coming. The Bulova oceanographer, like I said, I'm doing right up there.
And we've got our Transformer man over here who should
Oh, that's right.
What's he doing over there on my jewelry box? See, we're broadcasting from my craft room, so things are starting to migrate in
it's
here.
Only that. That's it. It's just that one thing. It's just, let's be clear.
It's
just
the
that one
couple's
thing.
fight. Keep your stuff out of my space.
It's just that one thing. But yeah, so we were able to get our hands on the new G-Shock Transformers collaboration piece. Really fun watch.
The puppet guy.
A lot of you guys have commented on the YouTube video, the unboxing video I did. It's a lot of fun. It's not going to be worth the money to everybody, but for me as an 80s kid playing with I grew up with Transformers. They were like a huge part of my life. So I was willing to fork over, I think it was about $400 for this thing. Mm-hmm. Definitely not going to be worth it for everyone, but for me, it was totally worth it. Really fun piece. I'm not really wearing it. I'm kind of displaying it in the robot. It took me like 15 freaking minutes to transform that thing. I mean, my kid mojo is totally
needed a
gone.
12-year-old around here to help us.
It was pretty
we don't
ugly.
Have one.
I was not going to video that because it just would have been massively embarrassing.
Yeah, so. People get really critical at some of the things you do on videos.
They do. When you put yourself... I mean, we got attacked a few times on the Grand Seiko video because I didn't... It was our first Grand Seiko. We didn't know to pull it out by the rice paper because it looked like it would tear.
You started to, and you're like, it's tearing.
It felt like it was tearing. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So
everyone thought we were like big gorillas or some horrible
but,
things.
Like our website... In our comments policy, it's very clear. You be respectful of the writers, whoever, whether it's us or a guest writer. Make your comments respectful. Or you know what? I'm gonna trash them, and that's what I'm doing on the YouTube channel.
If you call us a moron, you're gonna get deleted.
You're gonna get deleted. It's pretty straight up basic stuff, right?
That's happened.
Because that stuff's uncalled for, and I don't like the social media keyboard warriors that are really strong behind their keyboard. But anyway. Whole nother topic. So
yeah, but I mean, our whole motto is that we like watches, period, and it doesn't matter who you are. There's a watch for everybody, and we want to enjoy it.
We are not experts on everything.
No.
I'll tell you that right now.
No.
We've told you guys we started this podcast because we just love watches and we talked about them all
rookies.
The time, and we're like, let's just start sharing this with other people. We probably know more than your average Joe out there or someone just getting into collecting, but a lot of our thing is trying to help a lot of you guys that are just getting into this. And we have noticed a lot of our followers, you guys are new to Instagram, you may be new to collecting, and we love that. I'd rather have you guys following us than, a lot of the high-end collectors and stuff. That's a different world. And for us, it's just about bringing the love of watches to you guys and helping out. And we're not going to get everything right. And if you want to disagree with us in a post,
Fine.
awesome.
We'll learn
Let me know.
something.
And some of the posts were really cool. Like, hey, you're supposed to pull it out. It's like, yeah, we realized that after. Thanks for letting us know. And I'm not going to delete those, but if they're really nasty and inflammatory comments, they're going to get binned. I just don't put up with it. So
our first reaction though was, this is going to rip. This box is not coming out.
Yeah, it felt like it was
It was
rip.
so tight.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe it's settled in shipping or something, but
yeah. Well, no, it's our first
nothing
Grand
got
Seiko.
damaged. I mean, we tipped it over, put it out. Nothing got damaged. It's
totally
like, give us
fine.
a break. It's not like we buy this every day.
I think someone
we
called
bought
me
one.
a big gorilla, which I actually had to laugh at.
Something about a whole bunch of thumbs.
And I didn't delete that. You want to call me a big gorilla, that's fine. It was all in good fun, but
Which is funny because you're kind of a lanky dude.
yeah. But if we'd picked that up at our dealer, which was Topper's, Topper
Burlingame.
Jewelers in Burlingame, awesome guys. And Rob got me that piece, and if we'd gone there to pick it up, they would have showed us, right? It's like, this is our first Grand Seiko. I didn't know. I'm a Grand Seiko rube. What can I say?
Yeah.
But anyway, totally off on a tangent there. But yeah, keep your comments respectful, and we'll totally engage with you guys, because we love it when you comment, and we
love new people, and
we try to respond to every single comment on Instagram. And it's not always easy. But we're not at the point where like Mike and Kaz are, where they've got so many followers and so many emails and comments. It's hard for them to keep up. I can still keep up with it because I do most of it. Sometimes you'll get on Love and Watch's account and do some posting.
I think that's where we're having some issues, is that I have my own account, you have your own account, and we have the Love and Watches account.
And I've started ignoring my Ranch Racer account. I'm focused.
And I have a lot of
on
followers on mine, so I'm reluctant to delete mine.
Yeah, you should.
But I'm trying to encourage. I'm encouraging people to go over and also follow Love and Watches too, because I'm trying to go over, with everything going on with me, I just don't have the time to sit and do all that all day long.
Yeah, and the thing is, I look at our followers, and it's at least in the Love and Watches side, we're not growing super fast. We've got a little over 500 followers in the few months we've been on Instagram.
Funny because I've got like 1,300.
Yeah, but I think you're kind of an anomaly. You're a female watch collector, and there's not a lot of you out there. So I think you're just going to, by its very nature, you're going to get more followers. But if I look at the followers on Instagram for Love and Watches, it's mostly you guys out there. It's you watch collectors. It's not a bunch of bots and
no, it's not
shops.
yeah.
And that, there's a few of them, but it's mostly people that are just genuinely interested in what we're doing, and we love that. So
that's all, I think, organic, which is really good.
And we're not basing the success or failure of the show on how many Instagram followers we have. It's just not, we're getting a ton of plays, so we know there's a lot of people listening to the podcast.
A lot more plays than followers.
A lot more plays than followers. So we're super happy with that. And that's why we did this. It's all about the podcast. The reviews and the website is kind of secondary to the podcast. We're trying to grow that part of it. But at the end of the day, we're just thrilled to share this with you guys. And, we're super looking forward to 2019. We got a lot of fun new stuff coming, and we're going to get more involved in YouTube. Hopefully do some stuff with Mike and Kaz, because we have a lot of common followers and listeners.
We do.
So yeah, we're having a ball, and you guys might start seeing the podcast more frequently. We'll see, but we've been talking a lot about that, and
life gets in the way though. So it
does. So you might see it weekly for a while, and then we miss a week, and who knows? But a lot of times we're just sitting there on the off week, and it's like, let's record. We're bored. Let's go record something.
Or if we're feeling good.
We have a lot of topics, and you're going to start to see a lot more guests. We had Machek on from Red Bar Sack in the last episode, and that was a lot of fun. We got a lot of good feedback, and we want to do more of that. So we've got a lot of guests lined up that we're talking to, and so 2019 will be probably the year of the guests. It's going to be fun. So really looking forward to that. We got Couture Time coming up early in the year, so we'll be going back to that. It's going to be fun. Really looking forward to 2019.
And we might be sneaking off to Las Vegas.
We are sneaking
quick
off
trip
to Las Vegas. We haven't said anything yet.
It's a miracle to get a house sitter for this crazy funny farm. But
it is. And whenever we leave, we have someone here full time, so it's not like we're leaving the animals in the house alone. So we feel comfortable.
Could you imagine if the geese were in the house alone? It would be like,
oh my God,
they'd be having parties, inviting all their geese friends.
They'd be having total ragers.
Yeah.
A lot of goose friends. So yeah, we are right now. It looks like we're going to be in Vegas in January, later in January. We will let you guys know. We'll post it, because if there are any of you out there in Vegas that would like to get together for a little kind of impromptu
Get together.
watch GTG, we would be all over that. I know, is it Rolex Diver is out there? I think he doesn't follow us, but I have followed his stuff. He's a big Rolex collector.
Yeah, and there's one guy that is following me, Las Vegas Watch Guy.
Yeah, I saw him out there. So if any of you are in the vicinity of Las Vegas when we're going to be out there, it would be fun to hook up. So we're going to be at the
other end of the strip. Is it the south end that
we're staying at the Mirage? So I think it's North End, isn't it?
North End.
I think it's North End. Yeah, but just across from the Venetian where we stayed last time for a couture, and that was a lot of fun. So I'm getting together with our sales rep from Tourneau, who is now at the new Omega Breitling
boutique
Watches of Switzerland kind of collaboration over in the Wynn.
Beautiful.
So Christine, we'll see you out there in January. We're really looking forward to that. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff. I'm excited about 2019. It's going to be a good year, I think.
Me too. Hopefully my hip is going to be all healed up and I can be able to get out and actually sit with my birds and
Yep. All right, well, we should probably start to wrap this up. I thought we'd only go for 20 or 30 minutes today, and yeah, we're almost at an hour. So we made it, and now it gives me even less time to post process, so I can get this up in the next half an hour.
And I have to take a shower.
But I don't think I'm going to have to edit anything. I don't think there's any bleeps or anything, so I'm just going to get this one posted.
No words.
Quick thing, we want to do an upcoming episode to answer your guys' questions. So,
ooh, that'd be fun.
Send us your questions over Instagram. You can DM us. You can respond to our posts. Usually best to DM us because then I'll be able to kind of capture all those questions. You can email us at admin@levinwatches.com. Pretty basic. You can fill out the contact form on the website, but definitely reach out to us and, anything you want. You can ask us about watches. You can ask us about ranch life. You can ask us anything that you want. It's fair game. I can't guarantee you we'll read it on the air if it's risque. We will not be answering those, but definitely.
It is a family show.
It's a family show, but definitely get us your questions because we're starting to get some of those, and I thought I think it's time to do that. We've got enough of you listening and following that I think we'd have some real fun with it. So we'll be posting to remind you guys to send in your questions, but definitely get those into us, and we'll address those in a future episode, probably the next 2 or 3 episodes. So that should be fun. Other than that, make sure you're following us on Instagram. Tag us on Instagram. This is a big one, guys. And I know we see a lot of comments on our, likes and comments, but you're not following us. Well, you're doing yourself a disservice because we're going to be doing something special for anyone that we regram. And we regram anywhere from 1 to 3 pictures a week, depending on who tags us, the quality of the picture. We're going to be doing something fun for everyone that gets regrammed after the first of the year. So definitely regram us. Definitely tag us at levinwatches.com.
Now, do you mean the tagging or the hashtag?
Both. So either or.
I'm seeing a lot of hashtag.
The hashtag is fine. You're going to want to be following us, though, because there's also going to be some stuff coming up for those that are following us. So make sure you follow us. Get it done.
Oh, that's right. You said our next fun thing is going to be you need to follow.
Yeah, so do it now. I mean, anyone that's already following is already going to be included. So make sure you're following us. Tag us on all your watch photos.
It makes it easy for us to keep track.
Yep, and use the Love and Watches hashtag. We're trying to build that up. So, both is preferable, but either or is fine. But if you do get regrammed, you're going to get put into a group that is going to be up for something fun, probably in January. So definitely tag us, definitely follow us. Check out the YouTube channel. There's only, I think, 6 or 7 videos up there, but they're going to start coming a little bit faster because it's just a great medium for us to share stuff with you guys. So definitely do that. I already talked about Q&A. Am I missing anything? I think we're good.
I'm glazed over.
I know. This was totally random.
It's Christmas.
It was just a lot of
and I still need to go cook
ramblings,
something.
but it was fun.
I'm going to need your help with that. You're my helper.
Yeah, so let's wrap this because I got a bunch of chores and stuff to do before we go, and I got to get this podcast up. So I think that's it, guys. Again, Merry Christmas. Have a great New Year.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. We love having you guys here. We love that you're following the show and listening, and we're looking forward to many more years of fun with this. So with that, I think we're going to wish you all Merry Christmas and sign off. This is Ranch Racer.
And this is Perpetual Girl. Have a great day and night.
And thank you very much for listening. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.